If a child, if a teacher, if everyone around us can start thinking in a different way, we'll actually change the way we teach. I'll start with a joke which was very common in my school days. If a teacher cannot teach all the subjects, how is it possible for a kid to learn all the subjects? I am sure we all think about this. Today, it has changed a bit with such a long time past. The new thing which goes is something like this. Bro, if a teacher cannot teach all subjects, dude, how can we kids can learn all these subjects? The change has been just that, bro and dude, nothing more. We have been teaching the similar way for years. We are still continuing to do the same way after so many years. The one thing which is missing with our whole education system is that we are not giving any experiences to kids. We are giving them subjects. So what we have done over a period of time in our school system is we have just bifurcated the whole education system into small subjects. Maths teacher comes, teaches her subject, goes back to the staff room. Science teacher comes, teaches her subjects, goes back to the staff room. Hindi teacher comes, English teacher comes, every teacher comes and just go back to their rooms. It is left for teachers, students to figure out what they have understood. There is hardly any connection with the life. But in real, the life came first. It was life which came first, and then there was a lot of things related to, the life came first, and then came the education. If I tell you very practically, today the world we have created is more of learning from education, and then go and figure out where is it applied in life. But what I believe is that we should give kids a chance to experience, to explore, to understand whatever is being taught in class through experiential learning. In fact, 80% of these students retain what they are being taught in experiential learning. I can keep on going blah, blah, blah about all these things about experiential learning, but I believe let's do something interesting. And how does this start? It was a very, very interesting story. Almost a month back, I was traveling back from my office to my home, continuously thinking how can I, on this platform, tell to people that what is the right way to actually explore this topic. What is the right way we can actually go and tell this to everyone around here. Suddenly there was a knock on my window. Tuck, tuck. Ha. There was a boy, a 12 years old boy, standing and asking, "Sir, take a balloon." I said, my kids are too grown up, they don't need a balloon. He said, "Sir, please take one." I said, "What will I do? I don't have any need of this balloon." This boy still kept on saying and said, "What do you do?" I said, "I work with schools, I work with teachers, I teach kids like you." He gave me a balloon and said, "Sir, take the balloon. It might help you in some of your teaching." I couldn't even think what could be the possible solution. Gave him a 20 rupees note and said, "Keep this money, but I don't want a balloon. I seriously don't need it." While coming back and from my office that day, I kept on thinking about this balloon. And then I thought, is it possible that we start teaching from life, something which is around us? Can we take a balloon and start teaching some interesting topics in our daily life with just that balloon? So today, what we have done is, I have just tried to make sure that we teach some subjects of your daily life with this simple balloon. To start with, I'll take, I'm sorry, but I am carrying a lot of balloons. So to start with, I have a balloon. It has air inside it. As soon as I leave, just observe what happens. That's the principle on which all the rocket works. This is called action is equal to reaction. Newton's third law. Do this in your class and you will be shocked at seeing kids laugh, giggle, falling on each other. But they are actually learning of one of the most complicated concepts ever created. Each rocket flying every day from anywhere in the world flies on the same principle, and it's very interesting. I'll take another balloon, and this time we'll try to do something more interesting. I have this balloon, and the idea is, can we burst this balloon without even touching a pin with it. Any idea how will we do? Maybe a lot of ideas, but I'll try to show you something interesting. So I have this interesting thing called laser. If I'll just point my laser on this, nothing will happen. If I'll keep on pointing, nothing will happen. But how many of you remember that day when our parents used to put that small dot here and we used to call it superstition? That same dot has the energy to attract all the energies. So I put a small dot here, and then what I'll do, I'll just point the laser again on this same thing. Let's see what happens. So here it goes, and it bursts. This is the simple principle always taught in our school books. Black color absorbs lot of heat. The same principle our parents, grandparents always knew. So whenever you find your grandparents, old people wearing white kurta pajama in summer days, just remember they understand the concept much better than what we do. This was some interesting physics, but chemistry is again a very interesting thing. I have another balloon, and what I'll do is I'll just try to create a quick magic in front of you. What I'll do is I'll just spray something and see what happens. How does this happen? This happened because of a very interesting concept of chemistry, in which the petrol in my hand and the balloon both were hydrocarbons. The same hydrocarbons on which all the soaps work. This is a real life example of how soap actually works. So this petrol mixes with this balloon and bursts. It just breaks this balloon apart. There is a lot of science which we have talked. Can we talk about some maths with balloons? So I will take one more balloon, and this is the same balloon. If I keep on pumping air inside this balloon, the volume will keep on increasing. Considering this to be a sphere, I'm sure we all know the volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. The surface area is just 4 pi r square. Each time the volume is increasing, the surface area is also increasing. But what is happening is volume is increasing at an exponential rate. It's increasing very fast. So what the innovators did was they created micro absorbents, small drops of absorbents. There is no infant in this room, but if there would have been, all diapers use same small micro absorbent. Each particle fixed up together to make more volume, but more surface area. More is the absorption. The same principle of maths, surface area increase slow, volume increase fast, is being used in this very interesting thing. We talked about balloon a lot. I am sure you must be knowing where this rubber comes from. The rubber comes from an interesting tree called rubber tree. 90% of the world's rubber is produced in Southeast Asia. But 90% of rubber of India is produced in a small state called Kerala. Can you imagine a small state producing 90% of the rubber? That's the geography for you. The Kerala grows amazing amount of rubber because, one, humid temperature. Second, which is most important, monsoon. Third, the soil, which is so fertile in this place and perfect for growing a rubber plant. That's a bit of geography which comes every day in our classroom, but in form of a balloon which we hold every day. So next time you are holding a balloon, remember the rubber is coming from Kerala. From the geography, let's move to the cousin of geography, that's history. This same balloon had an amazing role to play in history. The year was around 1861, 11 June. A scientist called Lowe went to Abraham Lincoln and said, I can take a balloon, go up in sky and see everywhere what is happening. There was civil war which was going in America. The Abraham Lincoln got shocked. This scientist Lowe took a balloon, went up in air, and from air sent the first telegraph in White House. I can see 85 kilometers all side of Washington, all side of White House. The Abraham Lincoln got shocked, and that was the first time the balloon cadet was made in US, which changed the history of American independence and the Civil War. That's the history for us. There is another interesting cousin history, which is economics. We all know economics. It talks about a lot of interesting things. But economics has one very interesting topic. Consider this to be economy. I put some air, consider that to be inflation. Inflation is something which keeps on pumping this economy. So, that's one inflation. More inflation. More inflation. I hope this bursts. More inflation. But if this inflation keeps on going higher and higher, you know what happens? This, which is called the burst of economy. That word burst of economy came from the balloons. The economy actually burst apart. It becomes so tough for people to survive. Something which happened in a country like Venezuela, where the cost becomes so high for each product, that country was not able to survive. That's an interesting lesson of economics for you. We have talked about history, maths, science. Can we talk about something related to English? Our everyday words. I'll take one more balloon and I'll just try to do something with it. I'll do this. We call it press. But in normal language, in normal life, it is not press. We call this squeeze. It's a very interesting word. We always use this word squeeze. Squeeze means when you press something, but it comes back to its original shape. So I press this balloon, it comes back to its original shape. That's squeeze. But if I take this balloon, or maybe just this balloon, I put it like this, that's called squash. I'm again pressing it. I'm doing nothing more. But now this word changes to squash. You take the same balloon and you press it. But press the way my wife tells me every time. Go and put the laundry. I take the shirt, press it, but this time I press one anti-clockwise, one clockwise. This word is called ring. 3 words, similar meanings, you can understand with just a balloon, and you will understand how easy it is for kids to remember these words. Next time, whenever you see a squeeze of melon or a lemon, just observe it carefully. You will find this lemon is squeezed because it has retained its original shape. But if the same melon or same lemon comes under my feet, it's called squash and it will break open. These small words we'll only remember once we actually practically do these things. In fact, can 2 of you just come to me? Okay, so we'll do one last interesting thing. Can you just hold this for me and go to that side? I'll do something interesting. I'll just try to make sure that we are able to do something nice. I have a balloon with me. You remember the first experiment which I did? Can you come a bit closer? Just roll it and come a bit closer. Okay. Just don't come a bit closer. Okay. No, keep it stretched. Hold it from here. Okay. Now, we'll try to do same thing quickly. Just remember the first experiment which we did. The experiment was that we used a balloon to show action is equal to reaction. This time, and I'm sure when I was talking about action is equal to reaction, you all had something interesting to observe. What happens with action is equal to reaction? I took a balloon, hold this. I took a balloon, left it went haywire, here and there. But if I take the same balloon, put it on a straw, and leave it. You saw what happened? Thank you. You saw what happened? You can just keep it. You saw what happened? Something interesting happened. Now this is the biggest life lesson. All balloons are like kids. They have all the kind of energy in their life, but they go haywire. They don't have any direction. This thread was like teachers. The role of teacher is to guide them, is not to educate them every morning, is not to make them learn Hindi, science, maths, English every day. It's their responsibility is to guide them, to motivate them that you can achieve whatever you want, to give them the direction. If we start teaching every day in our daily life, through life, if we start making sure that we all will become teachers, the life for kids will change. The biggest problem in today's world is that we have these subjects. The parents have all the confusion in the world. They think, what can we teach? But there is no role of school, college, or anyone in a life of a kid. Education comes from every one of us. Whatever you know, whatever are your experiences, whatever you have learned in your whole life, it's time that you bring those experiences on table. Teach your kids, teach your friends, teach your relatives, anyone, but teach them with the experiences of your life. Because life came first. Life was first, came on this earth. Later came the education. But what we have done over a period of time, we have made sure that education is becomes so big that we keep educating kids every day and then tell them, go and figure out where will you use in your life. We need to change. We need to bring that change. We need to take this experiential learning, these small interesting things into our classroom, and it will change completely. This is the time when we all can come together, start thinking of something which is most interesting. Take your education beyond your classroom. Take it out into the real world. Use things around you. Use life to tell everyone how does education works, and it will change everything. Thank you.